President Trump saying the Iranian regime has apologized and surrendered to its neighbors in the Middle East, a promise he says was only made because of the relentless U.S.-Israel joint attack. This coming as the president hosts the first Shield of the Americas summit in Florida, where he's announcing a new military coalition to eradicate cartels. Our Washington correspondent Mari Otsu brings us the latest from Doral, Florida.
And we're doing very well in Iran. You see the result, and it's been amazing. We've knocked out 42 Navy ships, some of them very large, in 3 days. That was the end of the Navy. We knocked out their Air Force. We knocked out their communications, and all telecommunications is gone.
President Trump vowing that Iran will be hit, quote, very hard today as he predicts the regime's complete collapse. That's as he says Iran has apologized and surrendered to its Middle East neighbors, a promise that could have only happened due to the, quote, relentless U.S.-Israel attacks.
The president adds, quote, under serious consideration for complete destruction and certain death because of Iran's bad behavior are areas and groups of people that were not considered for targeting up until this moment in time.
It's not working out too well. And they're bad people. They're just bad people. When you look at October 7th and beyond October 7th, look at all the killing that they've done. They would have had a nuclear weapon, and, you know, they're crazy, and they would have used it. So we did the world a favor.
And while the administration's main focus is now on Iran, President Trump says that communist Cuba is in its last moments of life post-Maduro's capture.
Cuba's at the end of the line. They're very much at the end of the line. They have no money. They have no oil. They have a bad philosophy. They have a bad regime that's been bad for a long time. Cuba's a disaster.
The president making these remarks at the first Shield of the Americas summit, pledging to reassert U.S. dominance in the Western Hemisphere.
These brutal criminal organizations pose an unacceptable threat to national security, and they provide a dangerous gateway for foreign adversaries in our region, and we don't want them near our country either. We don't want them to come in. They're cancer, They're cancer, and we don't want it spreading.
He's announcing a new military campaign called the America's Counter-Cartel Coalition, which will leverage military resources, including the possible use of missiles. The proclamation formally launching this coalition says the United States will train and mobilize the militaries of partner nations to help dismantle cartels.
Every leader here today is united in the conviction that we cannot and will not tolerate the lawlessness in our hemisphere any longer. The only way to defeat these enemies is by unleashing the power of our militaries.
Meanwhile, President Trump joining a somber ceremony at Dover, marking the final homecoming of 6 soldiers killed when an Iranian drone struck a U.S. facility in Kuwait. The service members were all assigned the 103rd Sustainment Command, an Army Reserve unit out of Iowa.
President Trump calling them the great heroes of our country and vowing to avenge their deaths. Reporting from Doral, Mari Otsu, NTD News.